Hi everyone, today I'm going to have a little bit of a chat about being a teenager because ever since I did my video on my bullying experience and also my kind of anxiety and stress video and even my body image video, a lot of you have been asking me to talk about being a teenager. Now I'm in my mid-20s, so I got through it and I got to the other side, but I want to share with you a few things that I wasn't aware of during my teenage life that actually so many people, if not everybody, goes through. And when you realize that everyone's going through it, I think you cope with it a little bit better. So I wanted to share it with you so that you may be a little bit more informed and maybe you don't feel so kind of isolated and weird, because when you're going through your teenage life you can feel like you're the only one going through certain things and people can tell you, oh yeah, I know it's tough and stuff, but you don't really realize that people are going through exactly the same experiences as you, but just maybe in different kind of levels or at different stages. Maybe they'll have it later on in life, maybe they'll have it very early on in their teens, you know. Everyone's kind of different in that way, but these little kind of steps happened to everybody. Now I swear that there is a hormone that gets kind of bursts and like lifts into life when we become a teenager, and it's a lonely hormone. And I call it the lonely hormone because it makes you feel lonely, and it makes you feel lonely when you're with all your friends, it makes you feel lonely when you're with your family. You sort of just feel like you don't fit in, and it makes you want to isolate yourself because you feel sort of vulnerable. You feel like you can't kind of get into conversations, you feel like you just don't belong anywhere, and you sort of just want to isolate yourself and kind of just sit in your room. And this has happened to me on so many occasions when I was in my teenage life, where my family would all be like downstairs laughing and joking and I would be upstairs crying my eyes out, and I would cry and just cry and cry and cry and cry. And I remember one time was the worst time, and I actually really regret sitting up in my room crying, because my brother had come home from America, my other brother was there, my sister, and they were all laughing and joking downstairs, and I was set in my room with Everybody Hurts on repeat and just crying, and I mean desperately, unbelievably crying in my room. I just felt like there wasn't even a reason that I felt that way. It was just pure like emotional hormone issues just making me feel like, oh. And I honestly had no idea that everybody was going through this, and I'm sure you guys have gone through it, and maybe you won't go through it to the same degree as some people, maybe you go through it a lot more or a lot less, but I think everyone goes through that stage where they just want to cry and they just want to isolate themselves, keep away from people. And it goes for guys and girls, it's not just a girl thing. But what I would say to people is to push past it, because yes, it's great to have a good cry and you feel a little bit better afterwards, but another great way is to have a laugh and to joke and to lighten up and enjoy kind of comedies instead of sad movies, and listen to upbeat, happy music instead of sad, depressing music. And then, I know everyone does it when you're in your teenage life, you put your headphones on, you just listen to, you know, sad sort of, you know, to almost drown your sorrows in sad music. But you can also kind of lift yourself by listening to happy music. Also talking to people, and I know sometimes you can feel alone and feel like you don't have someone to talk to, but there is always someone there that you can talk to. You might have to kind of sort through all the people in your life to find out someone, or you might have someone right there like willing to speak to you and talk about your emotions. If at any stage you feel that this depressed or sadness is not just due to hormones, that it's getting a little bit too much and it's becoming a problem in your life, please seek out help. Don't just allow it to fester. Don't kind of isolate yourself even more. Talk to people. A lot of my friends were on medication for depression. A lot of them went to see counselors. There's so many different areas and different ways to help yourself through different situations. And the strongest thing that you can do is to go and seek help, and not just to isolate yourself and try and deal with yourself, because everybody needs some help sometimes, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. Because I really don't want you guys to miss out and be like me, set in my room, crying my eyes out, listening to sad songs and allowing the rest of my time going past, because life goes by so quickly, and teenage life is like this small, but there's so much that goes on in that little tiny space, and then you kind of just, it's gone. It's like poof, it's gone. So enjoy it as much as you possibly can, And remember that it's such a small, kind of dense time, but then you have the rest of your life to live, and you have so many things that you can do in your life. You can go traveling, you can have a million different jobs, you can try out different things, you can meet so many people in your life, and this is just this tiny little thing that just goes poof. I hope that helps some of you guys out. I really, really, truly wish you the happiest day right now. I hope that you leave this with a smile on your face, because I want that for you. I really do, because I know what it's like to go through that stage. Some people go through it quite easily. I know that I went through it quite difficultly, and I really struggled with a lot of things. And if you want me to talk about maybe my school side of things, which I don't really want to talk about, because because it was like hell for me. School was pretty bad, but if you want me to talk about that, I will. Let me know, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye. Oh, I just want to give you a hug. Oh, it's okay.